Cindy here, and today we're talking about never getting ghosted again. So, this is about standing in your power, staying in your power, and and foolproofing ghosting, essentially. Um, I see this often when, this happens to men too, but most of my audience is women. So when women will be talking to a man, getting to know him, and, I know many people are in quarantine right now, so it makes things a little bit different and we get to be a little more creative, although some people are still meeting. So, and there are definitely states that have opened up. So the dynamic is slowly starting to change. However, I really want to dive in here because it doesn't matter whether you're in quarantine or not, because if you have these tendencies to maybe, grab onto a lot of hope or attraction quickly, and they seem to be, saying the right things, showing up the right ways, and then, they disappear, then you definitely want to listen to this. Or I'm talking to you if it's easy for you to get into kind of that hypnotic trance of what I call a fantasy relationship, seeing what you want to see, and fantasizing that it's something that it may not be, or it may not be yet. So that is what we're diving into. So how do we ghost proof ourselves? Here's how you do it. You first off want to, as you're getting to know someone or you're getting to know people, you want to ground yourself in where you're at in the moment and know that, okay, so this person seems really nice. They seem to have the qualities that I'm looking for. Maybe they do check all the boxes. And I'm really excited. He seems excited to be getting to know me. However, ground yourself in that moment. I don't know how he's going to show up. We'll see. This takes time. So the more you can ground yourself, the less you will get ghosted. There's a possibility that he could maybe not show up or something, or pull away, or something could happen. So you are going to be in a more grounded role. Like, know that this is a possibility that it could happen, that he may ghost you. And when you lean into that is possible, it doesn't happen anymore, because you actually take the power out of it and you give yourself the power back. So that's one thing. Okay. And the next thing I want you to realize too is that oftentimes, as I'm talking about this hypnotic trance, and it is a trance because it can happen in relationship where you're with someone and all of a sudden he pulls away and he comes back, he pulls away, he comes back, and it messes with somebody's emotions. And then, you're watching, people like me on YouTube or Facebook Lives, and you hear, don't reach out to him, but you can't help yourself but to do it. And you might just reach out to him and be pissed and lash out. Or you reach out to him and you wonder what's wrong, and you keep reaching out, but you don't get a response, right? So how do we shift this? How do we shift these kinds of behaviors within ourselves? Well, you get to slow it down. You get to slow things down in the beginning. So you slow down intimacy and you slow down your mind. So and you slow down the time that you spend to them and spend with them and the time that you invest with them, because that is what I call pacing. So you're not talking to them every day. You're seeing what unfolds slowly. If he wants to see you every day, you're not doing that either. You might see them a couple times a week, right? And you're looking at, and I also recommend during this time, you're getting to know other people in the same way. And here's what I see happens a lot. There's this excitement that goes on. Wow, he seems so great and he seems to want the same things as me. I want to have a baby with him, or I want to get married to him. And your mind can do that. So how do you shift from being entranced to being empowered? So this is where self-talk, mindset work, and really working with our little girl inside will support you in shifting. So by actually giving yourself self-talk, wow, a baby, that's big, that's a lot. So, and that's interesting, right? How about we focus on something productive for us and our lives? How about we get some exercise, or we, cook a nice healthy meal, or we talk to a really close friend, or you see what I mean? So you shift your energy. Wow, he wants to get married too. I could see myself married to him. So instead of going down the rabbit hole of fantasizing, you ground yourself. Okay, that's interesting. Well, how about continuing to get to know him and seeing how he shows up? So the other side to this, for those of you that tend to go, 0 to 60, and you might attract men that are amazing and do what's called love bombing to you early on. But the challenge with that is that you tend to abandon yourself and make him your happiness, right? And become really, really disappointed if he changes. So if he pulls back a little bit, or he starts doing his life again and more, because he just can't sustain that kind of closeness. Men can, women can, but men can't. So that's why it's really important to pace and see that, gosh, it feels really good to hear these things, but let's slow it down, because is his words, is what he's saying, and ask yourself this question, is what he's saying really appropriate for the time frame that we're in? And as well as we know each other, yes or no, you can answer that question. And this is for you if you've struggled with setting boundaries, with, really being able to sustain relationships, or losing yourself, or feeling like you're the one that gives all the time. And then again, that self-abandonment happens and you feel all used up, and maybe they walk away. And don't look at those things as what is wrong with me, because there is nothing wrong with you. Many, many, many people struggle with this, guys. However, it's about making a shift and really doing the work to change, learning to understand. So how do I normally show up? And talking to that little girl really nicely. Hey guys, hey Tina, hi Heather, it's good to see you. So So if you talk to her and you say, you know, wow, I acknowledge your feelings. I know you desire and you get to be loved, and I love you, and we get to move slowly. Slow and steady wins the race. So ask yourself those questions. Is the way that he's showing up appropriate? Right? That's a really important one for the timing. And who's to say he could think that you're the most amazing thing, because you are, and be really wanting to rush in, and you pace him, right? You slow things down, and it works out, right? But it works out without you losing yourself. And there's stages along the way that happen that, it's really common for women to abandon themselves, their wants, their needs, and relationship and dating. And that's where men actually sense that, and they lose interest. They pull back because it neutralizes the attraction. So the right man, a healthy man that's really likes you, and of course he's going to like you. The right healthy man, he will be patient. He will wait. He will respect your boundaries. Will he do a little pushback? Sure. But you get to believe in yourself and your boundaries, and instead of, you run into a little bit of a conflict, or he pushes back a little bit, you just let it be. Okay, that's interesting. And see how he shows up. He gets to be the one that courts you more or shows up for you more, a little bit more than you. Because, I hear this a lot where women will say, yeah, a guy said to me, well, it's, 2020, women call men too. And while, yes, they do, you also really appreciate it when a man courts you, and it makes you feel cared for and desired, and like really feminine, like a woman. So there are ways to communicate effectively, and also, show up in your power in a way that's not abandoning yourself. So ask yourself these questions and give yourself self-talk. That's interesting. Why? I'm curious. And then when you start talking to yourself, you start feeling things in your body. You start feeling that whole gut feeling, or, you feel something in your base chakra, which is your gut, or your heart, or, things will start to happen, and your body doesn't lie. That's the interesting thing. So the more in tune you can get with your body, the more aligned you can be with yourself and your true authentic, your real truth. So if something feels off, probably is. Ask yourself, what do I think that is? Or if you notice a shift, hey, I noticed something feels different. Is everything okay? Are we okay? Right? And you want to make sure that you're not depending on someone else for your happiness. He will be a part, but you get to have your own life, your own happy. And if someone makes you feel bad for that, because that's all in that kind of unhealthy, narcissistic, mucky kind of way of being that, many anxious women attract, and many women that are plain givers, which can be also codependent or recovering codependent, can fall into that category. So you're great. You get to, though, give yourself that self-talk and open yourself up to the work and the possibilities of really creating what you want and commit to it. So the more we get curious with ourselves and the more we give ourselves love and self-talk, the easier it is to be aware of seeing certain things, seeing patterns, as because you'll continue to create them until some people create them forever, but you will continue to create them until you get this part down, the mindset, and knowing that you're really worthy. So there's a worthiness piece to not getting ghosted. There's a worthiness piece here. And if he goes his own way, oh well, forget about it. So let me know, has this been supportive to you? And are you dating right now? Are you dating in quarantine? And let me know, yes, I'm dating. Yes, I'm attracting lasting love. And yes, I'm ready. Just write down in the comments, because that declaration will support you, really opening up other women that have been, afraid to do that, or, stuck in, the fear of what is happening in these current times. So I hope this helped. I know it was a little long, but I do hope this helped. And, if you feel like a woman that needs to hear this message, please share it with her. Please, share the love, because I want to be able to help as many women as we can. If you're on YouTube, please, if you happen to like my video, like it and push the subscribe button. And if you are on IGTV, hello, good to see you. And I'm sending you guys lots of love. I've got tons of training coming for you too. So I can't wait to show you that and what's really in store to support you on this next level of your journey. All right. Mwah. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.